The fantasy football universe. Welcome into another episode of the Start Sit Show with myself, SC Romero, Jesse Moeller, and Jeremy Solomon. Jesse, how are you doing today?
I am good. We're just finding out news about good old Bucky Irving's probably gonna be out more than likely a month. So if you picked up Rashad White, you got to be loving life. So I got him on a few squads, so I'm happy to hear that. But yeah, we're ready to rock and roll week 5. See how we can do. I'm just ready. Yeah, I'm all over the place. So yeah, you can just go to Jeremy.
Injuries are taking course, man. That is the name of the game, right? So you have to have that depth to be able to cover for those injuries and continue to compete. Jeremy, how are you doing in your leagues?
Listen, I'm great, doing well so far. We just got news that Bucky Irving is going to be out about a month. So keep in mind, if you pick up Sean Tucker, you're going to be loving life.
There you go. Sean Tucker, Rashad White, pick your poison, and we'll let you know next week which poison was the one you wanted to drink.
Well, that's true.
But for all those joined in, we are the Fantasy Football Universe. We are here to answer all your questions. Don't forget, though, if you are joining us for the first time, subscribe, like it. We appreciate all the feedback, but also join in our Discord community. I'll have one of the guys drop the link in here in the chat there so y'all can join in. We have tons of knowledgeable guys, not just the guys at the FFU, but guys from around the fantasy community that can help you learn and compete at every level of the fantasy football game from week 1 all the way to your championship week. So make sure you join the Discord today to join the fantasy football universe. Now, as it said, guys, what we're doing here today is answering all the questions we can to make sure y'all are set up for week 5. I get caught up on this one. Week 5 set up as we have a game in place already. It's Cleveland versus Minnesota. Have y'all been watching that game? It's an early game for me and Jesse, but Jeremy, it's like right on schedule for you. How are you enjoying that game?
Yeah, it's great. Harold Fannin going off. In fact, the Browns and your boy SC Dylan Gabriel, they're inside the 10-yard line right now, threatening to score again. Judkins, I don't know what's going on, but they're like, he's getting the ball, but there's a whole heck of a lot of Jerome Ford happening right now.
Let's go. Judkins. As I'm putting the link in the Discord here. Junkins is, they're giving them the ball, but it is a Vikings defense. I think the biggest thing is Dylan Gabriel actually getting a passing touchdown, and it was to rookie Harold Fannin. But we knew Harold Fannin was him as well. That was one of our guys, right, going into the season. We did have one comment from the Discord. Let me pull it up here. I think I put it up. Maybe I did not. So it was Kenneth Walker or Deebo Samuel. Who are y'all starting here? I'm gonna get it up here.
It's not a good matchup for Deebo. That's what worries me a little bit. And Mariota's back. Or sorry, Mariota. Jesus. Daniels is back. So I want to see how Deebo's usage kind of changed back to what it was previously. So
right.
I'm slight Walker, but like we said in the Discord, I don't think there's a bad answer on that too, because it's 2 guys you want in your lineups this week.
Yeah,
for sure. Was there an interception? What happened to this? I didn't even see that.
I will say,
scored.
Yeah, this offense looks like it's revolving around the tight ends right now. Both Njoku and Fannin are the most targeted guys. So, you can fire them up. Just the difference is Fannin got the touchdown and Njoku didn't. But, yeah, they both got 5 targets, 4 catches.
Oh, someone just did, though. Who was that? There you go. You said Njoku did not.
Judkins.
There it is.
Is that Judkins?
No, it's Njoku.
Oh, that was Njoku.
Njoku?
Oh, yeah. Let's go, baby.
There it is. Just kidding. You can start both of them each week.
Start both of them. Njoku and Fannin, baby. Dylan Gabriel is the key. Look, I already said this on X before I get to this question, just because they just scored. When the draft happened, I said teams were a fool to pass on Shedeur Sanders, going Dylan Gabriel, and Tyler Self specifically. They were a fool for passing on. At one point in time, though, you have to realize you have to adjust your ranks. Shout out Jeremy and his show, Adjust Your Ranks, because this is the season where we get to a certain point where we start having to adjust it. And to be honest, as much as I love Shedeur Sanders and what he does, the Browns see something in Dylan that they didn't see in Shedeur Sanders. We want them both to succeed, but Dylan Gabriel apparently has that grit. He has that want to go out there and succeed. He's leading the team. And whatever jabs you want to say he's throwing at Shedeur, it's back and forth. And guess what? Cleveland did something smart in saying they want the clicks. We're going to draft Shedeur in the 5th, and that's going to bring media attention to us regardless of if he starts or not. He's going to get the media attention, so people are going to have Cleveland trending. Now Dylan Gabriel's going out there. He's playing against a tough matchup in the Minnesota Vikings defense, which isn't the best matchup for any rookie quarterback to play against, and he's looking nice. We know Dylan Gabriel might not be the guy, but let's be real. This guy has experience from a college level, 5 years in the league, went to a Will Stein offense at Oregon, kind of fine-tuned his mechanics, and now he's a starting quarterback for the Cleveland Browns. Is that a death trap? That's a death trap for any quarterback. We've seen tons of quarterbacks go through there and it doesn't work out. But hey, you got to ride the hot hand, and right now it's looking pretty hot. Any thoughts on that, Jeremy, since you're Mr. Adjust the Ranks there?
No real thoughts on Gabriel and kind of the run game. The run game is doing kind of what we thought. Dylan Sampson less involved, and Njoku probably a little bit more involved. But I was sitting in Njoku this week simply because we didn't know what was going on with Dylan Gabriel. I still played Fan in a few spots, so that's good. But Jerry Jeudy was a big sit for me. I think he's the huge loser here. We see these guys in the offense. Isaiah Bond is the other one who's healthy when Tillman comes back. I don't know that Dylan Gabriel is going to be able to stretch the field here in his rookie year. So that concerns me. I think there's a reason, as Jesse was saying, it's running through the tight ends because everything's being kept short. They're trying to make sure they limit mistakes. They have a great defense. They do not need to, do anything risky to win this game.
Fair. Just any thoughts?
They're also missing Tillman in this game, and he's like their deep threat down the field guy on top of it too. I want to shout out Fosbury, who's in our Discord. I think he's Fosbury 66 on Blue Sky. He's been pounding the table for Dylan Gabriel ever since like the entire offseason. He's the Couch Scouts guy who we're pretty cool with. He's their QB ranker, and he was pounding the table for him. So I kind of, when he went super late, I was like, just pick him on your taxi squad, see what happens. So if you had him and you haven't, you might have something here. We'll see if it can hold up. I don't know, but it looks a heck of a lot better than it did with Joe Flacco the last couple of weeks.
It does.
Hey, we will say with that, just probably the table, they make sure every Tuesday you are checking our YouTube channel. That's why you will subscribe, because we have our waiver wires drop for SFB and for just your regular leagues as well. Dylan Gabriel's been on that waiver wire, short that we dropped there. So, you could have been ahead of the game and called him before he even got the start. We were saying this in week 2, go ahead and grab him because Flacco's looking kind of meh. So, make sure you are following that so you're ahead of the game and make sure you're getting your guys, as I'm seeing guys put Dylan Gabriel on the trade block in my leagues now. So there you go. But let's go into our guy, Dynasty Dog. Mike has a question here. He says, half point PPR, A.J. Brown or Ladd McConkey?
You want Jeremy?
You can't play Ladd McConkey. I mean, it's a great matchup for Ladd, and it's a bad matchup for AJB. So that's kind of why you're considering this. And I get it. A.J. Brown, it's been really difficult in the passing game for the Philadelphia Eagles. It's been really difficult in the run game for the Philadelphia Eagles. Now they got to play Denver. This sucks, but I'm going to A.J. Brown. He's the number one guy there. He's the number one target. He's the alpha. Ladd is not. Ladd has the skill set. We saw him do it last year, but with Keenan Allen in the room and QJ ascending, QJ's legit. I mean, I keep saying this. We all keep saying this. Anyone who watches these games and watches the tapes keeps saying this. QJ is legit. Will he come down a little bit in his fantasy production because he doesn't score some touchdowns here and there? Sure. But he is getting the targets. He's getting the red zone targets over Ladd McConkey and half PPR. That just limits it. I want the guy with the better chance to score a touchdown. I'm going AJB.
Just you agree with that?
Yeah, like it's one guy's leading the league in first read target share, 50%. That's A.J. Brown. His target share is almost 30%. Like everything's there for A.J. Brown. It's just been inefficient. Ladd McConkey's just not getting the looks. He's on the field, but he's like 18% target share. Again, it's a really good offense. He's got Herbert, but it's so boom bust for him with right now. And until that changes, it's really hard to put Ladd in your lineup. If you want to flex him, go for it. But yeah, you fire up AJB. Like, you know what you're getting out of him.
QJ is like this year's Cortland Sutton. He's just going to get fed the touchdowns. You're not, I mean, it may be all season. You're still like, man, is this really happening? Like, or is this the guy that, we thought he was or whatever? And Ladd McConkey, this is the questions that we really come down with, because this is, as I was saying earlier, we're into week 5 now. You have to adjust your ranks. If you're seeing these trends happen, Ladd McConkey is not being the lad he was last year. So all these people that had him so highly on their ranks, I get it. But there is a time where you have to bring it back down and say, all right, maybe QJ needs to start jumping in because of how the offense is running and what they're using for it. Same thing with Keenan Allen. I wouldn't necessarily put Ladd over Keenan, especially if we're talking Dynasty. But in redraft, which is really, we play Dynasty, but during the season, you have to play it like it's redraft and adjust it how you will to win your week-by-week matchups. And this is an opportunity for you to say, okay, Keenan and Ladd are closer than we thought for this season, and you have to make sure you're starting it accordingly as well. Jeremy, were you going to say something?
Yeah, a question for USC, because Jesse knows the answer already. And me and Ryan were talking about Thursday. We talked about Saturday. If you had to guess where QJ is ranked for me out of all of the wide receivers in fantasy this week, what would you guess?
Where QJ is ranked for you. I would say wide receiver 21.
That's a fair guess. QJ is wide receiver 8. Ryan had him at wide receiver 5. And he said when he put him above JSN this week, he just sat there in disbelief and stared into the void of his computer screen for 5 minutes. But this is where we are with QJ at this point. I mean, the targets are ridiculous. The red zone targets are ridiculous. He's doing everything. It should fall off. He was mossing Pat Surtain the other week. So, like, QJ is there. Part of this is because Justin Herbert is elite. Now their offensive line is crumbling. That could be an issue here. Maybe that also leads to more shorter area of the field targets with Ladd. We hope that. But when you're talking AJB, someone elite at scoring touchdowns versus Ladd, who's just become this kind of short area of the field, rich man's Khalil Shakir, who is scoring touchdowns. So
right.
It's just, it's kind of sad to see it happen this quickly for Ladd, but we're also being told by the team how they prefer to operate given the pieces they have at play right now.
No, that makes sense too. Put him at wide receiver 8, wide receiver 5. I mean, I wish we had the meme for the the Pablo Escobar where he's just sitting on his seat and he's just looking into the wind and just that's that feeling, right? You're just looking into the abyss there, just like this is where we're at. But hey, again, you gotta adjust the rates. Make sure you are following us because Jeremy has that great show, and that's what it talks about, right? Going up and down on them, and it's a week-to-week basis, right? I mean, I wouldn't say we're saying go trade Ladd McConkey for Keenan Allen right now, right? Don't do something, especially if you're in Dynasty. Don't necessarily do that, or go trade, JSN for Quentin Johnson right now. That's something again, but you do have to be, be mindful of it. Like, hey, maybe this is something I got to try to package in and do it. He does want a formal apology from you, Jesse, in reference to mocking Fan in Love. Let's say our guy Mike was a fan of Fannin, right?
Yeah, it's both him and QJ. It's the thing I struggle with the most in like Dynasty is adjusting to players that I like on the team already. So this is like the QJ ascension from last year, and that's because I liked Ladd so much. And then it's also the same thing with Fannin and Njoku. Njoku was really good last year. His role was awesome. I just thought it was going to take him multiple years to like take over that role once Njoku was gone. I was massively wrong on that. I should have just trusted the talent. And this is where we get into situations versus talent in Dynasty. If you trust the talent of the player, they'll find a way to get on the field if they're good enough. Like that's how it almost always goes, right? So yeah, Mike was 100% right on that. He nailed that projection. So shout out to you, Mike. And I am massively wrong on that one.
Breaking news real quick. Michael Mayer has already been out, backup Raiders tight end. Schefter says Brock Bowers is out today. It's Jacoby. It's hopefully Genty or maybe Mostert getting some targets out of the backfield. Trey Tucker becomes interesting. But yeah, Bowers out, Mayer out. You need another tight end.
Oh, Ian Thomas is with the Raiders. Is he the one?
Yeah, I found that out based on my rankings. I pulled him up. He's with Vegas. All right, we're throwing him at 28 tight ends.
That's it.
Is he the one going? I want to pick him up just because the guy I'm playing has no tight end because he has Bowers and Freiermuth on bye.
Yep.
So I'm just gonna go there and let's go ahead. I can't move on.
It's
Tommy Tremble, sneaky name. He scored a touchdown last week. He's got the opportunity in a great matchup, and Jatavian Sanders out again. So Tremble is a sneaky name here.
Yes. Let's go into Mr. McSauce. He has a question for us. He says, good morning, everyone. PPR, would you rather go Rashid? He did say Shaheed here. The better name is Rashid, or RJ Harvey. Who are we going here today? Jeremy, I'll ask you.
Damn, this is tough. I'm going to go RJ Harvey. I don't like it. I don't really want to against Philadelphia. J.K. Dobbins is the one. Rashid Shaheed in a good matchup, but I don't know. I just don't trust it. Taysom Hill is probably going to play a little bit. That's going to lower everybody's volume across the board. I'm just going to bank on the talent that is RJ Harvey, and hopefully Sean Payton gets his head out of his ass and plays him a little bit more than he wants to because, JK, we need to make sure JK is healthy for the season. If this team has aspirations to go to playoffs, they need a healthy Dobbins to win. So I'm going to go Harvey.
Yeah, the interesting thing is he got a lot of that in kind of like garbage time last week. So that's because he had 14 carries, which was surprising to me. But it's still like he's getting the work, right? So yeah, I think Harvey is probably your ceiling shot to get a touchdown. I think the floor is higher with Shaheed, so I think it depends on what you need. It's so weird with Harvey. I just want to see it consistently, like get him in that role. Oh, don't even. I see the comment from Mike down below. Oh, that's a rough one. But yeah, like with I'll go Shaheed, but I don't mind Harvey if you want to take a shot.
Yeah, Harvey against the Eagles. I know Eagles are banged up right now as well. Shaheed, they're playing I just saw who they're playing. Giants. So I mean, the thing is, it's at this point. So he was booming last year, right? But it's really the quarterback issue. The Saints are 0-4. They're looking like they might lock in as the 101. It could be the Jets as well. But it's looking like this isn't the week or the time you want to necessarily start Rashid with the quarterback issues they're having. I say issues, rather he's not doing bad, but he's not doing enough for them to win, which is going to force their hands to say, all right, we need to grab a quarterback. And that's just going to put Tyler Shough even further down, just as they took him in the third for whatever reason. But I think I lean Harvey. He had his, kind of breakout game last week, and they might try to ride that. We know Sean Payton at times does ride the hot hand, and so this may be an opportunity where you're like, okay, Harvey's involved, I can use him. So we might see a little bit more of that as well. We'll pull this up because he did say Jack Beck. This is one of those just where we wish we had the guy that's like maybe, you wish. Yeah, it's a huge baby. I mean, you have some rosters where you have super deep leagues and you can start Jack Beck, sure. If you're in your standard, 11-9 player team, I don't know if I am. That's a deep shot. That's not really one I want to take at this point in time. Any thoughts on Jack Beck?
How does he get on the field? Like, it's the tight ends that are losing the shots. Like, he's not taking those snaps, right? So unless they're going to play him as like that Cooper Kupp type role where he's like inline blocking and then doing stuff with that, which that's not his skill set. So I think it's just going to be really tough. I think Beck's just kind of buried for the time being because Tucker and like Jacoby and all those guys over there, they're earning snaps. He's not. So it's really hard. It's really hard with him. It's unfortunate too. They took him high.
This next one is a good question. Shout out Mr. Magic. Now you see me, now you don't. But he asks, Hurts against Denver or Justin Fields against Dallas? As we know, Dallas is the place you want for quarterbacks at this point in time. Hurts going against the Denver Broncos D that could cause some chaos. But the Eagles 4-0, the Jets 0-4. Where are we leading here? Jesse, I'll ask you first.
So I have Hurts still hot. Like I almost never take Hurts out of my top 5 quarterbacks just because of his rushing ability in that offense overall. But I will say this is like the ideal matchup to get Fields. And I said this last week actually with Justin Fields too, because he was playing Miami. And I was like, just play Justin Fields. It might be ugly, but it'll give you points. I'm probably going to talk myself into Justin Fields here, and it does not feel good at all. And I don't want to go down this road. But I do have Fields ranked a few spots below him. But yeah, it's the more you think about it, you're like, ooh, I want to pull that dart and go for it.
Fair. Jeremy, do you agree?
Yeah, I got Jalen Hurts inside my top 5 as well. He's 4, even in a tough matchup. But I got Justin Fields at QB1. Justin Fields QB1 against Dallas. It's so hard to sit Justin Fields this week. I have the same decision in a league where I just have an embarrassment of riches in a stud team with Josh Allen, Hurts, and Fields. I'm playing Fields over Hurts in that one. Trying to trade one of them. Yeah, I think after this week, Mr. Magic, you'll be able to trade Fields, which is what you should do. It's not going to be Fields every single week. But this week against the worst defense in the league, yeah, play him.
As we just said earlier, too, Fields is starting quarterback. If they don't win games, they're going to take a quarterback in the first, right? And even if they paid him, Hurts is locked in. He just won a Super Bowl. He can have a bad season. They're not going to dip him and say, all right, you're done. So I was trying to trade Fields because that's going to be a shaky there. This matchup, I like Fields. I mean, I know they're again 0-4, but you have Garrett Wilson. They're probably going to get Breece Hall more involved now that Brandon Allen's out, right? You might get a little bit more of Isaiah Diaz, but Fields is going to be you should have a great week this week. And these are the weeks you need to play the matchups. And we're getting to that point now where we understand what matchups are good and which ones are bad. We're a quarter way through the season. We can see how defensive schemes are running, how offensive schemes are running. We play the matchups now, not necessarily the names or anything like that, right? Week 1, week 2, you're playing the guys like, all right, I'm going to play them because I know they're good. Well, now we're seeing how teams are adjusting, how players are adjusting to a new format, watching tape, all that kind of stuff. So you play the matchup. So Fields has the better matchup. Play him. I did ask Seattle defense or Philly defense. Seattle playing against Tampa Bay, and Philly playing against Denver. As we said, I lead Philly. What do you say, Jesse?
Yeah, Philly. Like Seattle's defense is good, but the Bucks offense, I know it's like they're injured and there's a lot of issues going on. They still got Baker Mayfield. They're going to move the ball. I think Philly has a better chance because the up and down nature of the Broncos offense has been all over the place. That Philly defense is still really good. I'm going to go with them over Seattle.
Yes. Jeremy, any thoughts on that?
I get it. I hear you. I'm going Seattle. I just think the Seattle D has the better matchup. Like you said, Tampa is hurt, but no Bucky. Injuries across the offensive line, even though some of those guys are still playing. Baker Mayfield with the bicep now looked good last week, but Chris Godwin, for all his 10 targets, was only 3 receptions last week. They still need to gel and get it together. No Bucky, I think, really hurts this offense in terms of what they're going to try to do. So I like Seattle, but it is close.
Fair. And for all those just joined in, we'd like to thank you all. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel. We have different shows going out throughout the week. Also, if you're still looking to get that draft feeling and you want to join in, go join Fast Draft. Use promo code FFU to get the first time deposit match up to $25. They have a Flex 6 frenzy, which is really quick, doesn't take longer than 12-15 minutes. If that, draft your team, win some money, go use promo code FFU on there to make sure you can win big in the Fast Draft community as well. Also, if you're noticing, we have a link at the top left there. That is our TikTok link. We are going live on TikTok now. Jesse's running that for us. Same thing, Captain. Tell your friends if you're on TikTok to join it. Very quick and easy. Same concept. You can ask these questions here and really enjoy the community in the TikTok world. We're expanding there as well. So make sure you are clicking that link to join in, and we'll make sure we're going live here shortly on that as well. As we're waiting for questions to pile in here, any questions here on guys that you are contemplating to start right now?
I mean, it was the guy that I was worried about, and that's lived up to it. He's got a touchdown today, but it was Jordan Mason. I wanted no point of starting him this game. And thankfully, he got the touchdown to kind of save you, but he fumbled. He was basically taken out for a while. This Cleveland defense is a terror to run against. So if you have these guys that are not pass catchers and they're strictly just on the ground, prepare to bring them down lower in your rankings where you want to pivot off of them. So that's just one of the best defenses in the NFL. They're stout up front. They're terror. So moving forward, I would avoid these guys that are just going to get 15 carries on the grounds. Do not play them against Cleveland because it's that bad.
Did Cleveland just get the fumble, though? I see there is.
It was Xavier Scott this time, the guy they brought in to take some of that load off of Mason because Mason fumbled. Xavier Scott fumbled, Cleveland ball.
Dillon Gabriel. Let's go. DG season, bro. Flex the watch on him. Let's go. That's Sanders, by the way, but Dillon Gabriel should be doing that because it's his time. So they have a question here. As we found out earlier, Chuba Hubbard is out. Mm-hmm. Is Rico Dowdle in your lineups? And on top of that, though, would you rather start DeMarcado or Trevor Etienne? Just
Rico. Jeremy was the one on this before me.
Sorry, Rico started. I was just saying the backup too is where I start. But Rico, go ahead and talk about Rico.
Rico's in for a good matchup. I think it's interesting with Etienne. I just, like we talked about on the show a couple days ago, and that might have been yesterday, actually, my time's flying. We don't know how much he's going to be involved. I think he's going to be involved in the passing game a little bit, but it's really hard to start the guy that's going to be backing up. And this is also the DeMarcado situation too, where he's going to be the passing down back, but you know how much work he's going to get. Mm-hmm. I think you can get into that RB3 flex range with those guys, but I would temper expectations if you're playing those type of players.
Jeremy, any thoughts on those guys?
Yeah, I think with Etienne, it's just, how bad of an offense do we really want to pray comes through for us here? And I think with Arizona, they're at least functional. They have a decent defense, but they're not great. And they have some injuries. So I'm going with DeMarcado pretty comfortably there. Trevor Etienne, we just haven't seen it. So banking on the fact that that's going to happen this first week when Dowdle has been the guy. I expect Dowdle to have a huge workload this week. And so I don't think Etienne does much, but it's a great matchup. I'm going DeMarcado.
Love it. I think, again, this is the life we live, right? Where we're starting Rico Dowdle and DeMarcado in our lineup. So
week 5.
Welcome to it. Is this the Bipocalypse? I know it feels like this week is the Bipocalypse. I feel like it's later, but it feels like this week is okay.
Week 8 is a doozy.
Maybe I just have a lot of Falcons players. I'm just like, oh, why is everyone
Yeah.
on bye? Like it's like, jeez, everyone is so far.
You know what it is too? It's not just on bye. It's the guys who are injured. There's so many running back injuries. I kind of put up a list of guys, 2 from the same team in a couple instances, right? 2 of the Cardinals backs, 2 of the Tampa backs are relevant because the starter went down. We don't know exactly how it's going to shake out. But I had a list about 15 deep of running backs, headed by Woody Marks, of course, who you can and probably need to flex this week because of the bye weeks and the injuries. RJ Harvey was pretty high on that list too. So the matchups be damned, really. You got to start these guys.
I actually think I was going to start Woody Marks. Let me make sure. Oh, I did put him in. Yeah, I brought him up for my taxi, and it's official. It's Woody Marks season. I brought up Quinson and Woody Marks for my taxi this week, and it's official.
Not bad.
So
I'll do it.
let's run it. No, yeah. I mean, to your point, that's again where the depth comes in, right? We know injuries happen. We hate to see them, but it's part of the game. And I know we say every year, there's so many. It seems like every year we're saying there's so many injuries this year. It's part of the game, man. It happens every season, and you just have to adjust accordingly and hit those waiver wires again. Subscribe to our channel so you're making sure you're seeing our Tuesday waiver wire shorts. It's just a short, but going in there to tell you which guys that we're seeing on waiver wires that you should be checking out to make sure you're going there and picking them up to benefit you in this following week as well. You may have seen Woody Marks in there. You may have seen Bannon on there before he started to break out. Quinshon, but when he was suspended, coming in like, hey, you gotta go get him if he's on your redraft wires. All those are very important, and that's how you stay active. You're not a shark dies when it stays still, right? So you have to be active within your waiver wires, within your trades, within your fantasy league to make sure you are winning there, and that's where we come in to try to help you as well. Calvin Ridley, as we're waiting for y'all's questions to come in. Calvin Ridley, what are we doing with him? I'm trying to read the juju. This is the Falcons Calvin Ridley jersey. I'm trying to bring it in because that's the Calvin Ridley we need. He's back at the Falcons to make sure he's coming back. Are we dropping him or what's going on? Because the Titans offense just looks pretty bad right now. But what are our thoughts on Ridley right now?
Yeah. I mean, it's so bad right now. He's also not getting all targets too, so it's not like he's inefficient. Yeah. He's just a downfield player. What's interesting is yards per catch has been all over the place. It's like 6, 19, 27, 15. Mm-hmm. Ridley's super boom bust just due to the nature. And we thought maybe a little bit or two put the cart in front of the horse with Cam Ward being the guy to completely elevate that offense to another level. Hasn't happened yet. I'm hopeful that it'll be a second half thing where they get them coordinated, they work together, and they kind of move forward together. But at this point in time, there's no way you cannot start Ridley in your lineups. It's too low. So I don't know if you want to drop him, but sure, if you want to pick up, like if you needed a running back in Mercado or any like Rico Dowdle or any one of these guys was on your waiver wire, yeah, sure, I'd drop Ridley for one of those guys, no problem. But if it's a deeper league, I'll just hold on to Ridley and hope because you just can't do much with him.
Would you start Ridley or Etienne in your flex, or Trevor Etienne in your flex?
Got to go Ridley there, but it's rough. You just got to pray for a touchdown. Yeah, ugly.
Yeah, that's the type of guys that we're looking for. Is just some of these guys end up being touchdown dependent, and you have to just pray he gets it, and that way you get 10 points. Instead of just a 2-point game, you get a 40-yard touchdown, and that's all it is. That's all they get. So sometimes it happens, it works in their favor. Sometimes it does not. Let's see here as we go through. Taylor Tolbert is a guy that's definitely climbing in, especially with CD out. I think that's a guy you can start possibly flexing in your leagues. We know Pickens had his monster game last week, but Tolbert as well, 6 targets, 4 receptions, 61 yards. He's going to be part of the offense as long as CD is out. So that's someone that you can possibly go in there and start putting in your flex position as well. Or if you are in the bye week, having Rome Odunze out or something, I would say Tolbert's a good buy. Do y'all say anything on that?
Yeah, 100%. Particularly with Kevontae Turpin being out too, they're talking like Ryan Flournoy is the wide receiver 3, and like when you get to that point, like Tolbert's gonna be a guy you could flex. There's really nobody else in the offense. It's the 2 guys up front, Ferguson and Pickens, and then take a shot on Tolbert if you're desperate because that offense can produce fireworks.
Is Javonte Williams an every week starter for you right now?
Yeah.
Be careful. 4 Dallas Cowboy offensive starting linemen are out this week. So that's my only concern, but he catches the passes, right? We didn't expect necessarily this. just from Javonte Williams. We thought it could be the case, but Miles Sanders, I'm not sure if he's out. I think he is. Yeah, Miles Sanders is out as well. So there's like nobody else. And with Turpin out, that would have been the guy probably to slot into the backfield. Maybe that's Flournoy now. Going out on some routes just to spell Javonte a little bit. Javonte's going to play as much as humanly possible. They're going to be rushing Dak like crazy. And the short area Javonte in the passing game, he should eat.
Jaden Blue season, hopefully. This time we've been waiting for him. So
got them cleats.
Yeah. But it'll be a big matchup for him there as well. I know we kind of hit on this earlier with the Saints talk with Rashid Shaheed or Rashid. What about Spencer Rattler, though? I mean, we kind of touched on it, but is Spencer Rattler a good start against the Giants this week?
He should be, but he's still Spencer Rattler. I mean, this offense is so poor. The thing is, in 1 QB leagues, you're not even considering Spencer Rattler. He's borderline like plug and play, sort of grab off the waiver wire last minute, and there's almost always going to be better options for you there. But he does run, so he's not useless to you. The thing is, he's only had one game with more than one passing touchdown this season. And as much as he's running, which isn't a ton, but it's still enough, he hasn't scored on the ground yet. Against the Giants, maybe that gets easier, but the Buffalo defense is not good. Last week, he was just QB 21 against them. The San Francisco defense, they were struggling early on. He was QB 10. I mean, he has that in him, but he's like a back end QB1 if everything breaks right for him. So I think there's better options, and that team is just Taysom Hill. Taysom Hill is going to eat everything, and there's not much there to begin with.
Sure. Yeah. Hill's back, baby. I made a mistake of dropping him in SFP and someone else picked him up, but Taysom Hill could be a league winner in some leagues. I mean, last year he had like a 44-point game, I think, or something crazy. But Strong Forest, thanks for joining in. He does ask the question. Not sure if I asked you guys about a recent trade. Lost Tyreek and needed wide receivers. Traded Wandale and JCM for Olave and Devontae Smith in PPR. Thoughts on that?
I think that's a massive win. That's a big dope. Give them dopes like Jameis. Yeah, I don't know. I think you know that you made this trade. You were very happy with this. So you should want to come on and brag. So salutes to you, Trend Force. That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Please brag. Please brag.
This is a prime thing. One, you're taking the opportunity of neighbors being out. I'm assuming this is redraft. It could be Dynasty. If it's Dynasty, this is even bigger. But neighbors being out, so Wandale's there. Wandale should be that. It could be Darius Slayton. We'll see. JCM, I know there's hype around him, but we know McNichols might be in there. Chris Rodriguez got some looks as well. Olave's the one. Devontae Smith is the 1B. So you got 2 1s for your team rather than 2 kind of just there because of injury. So I think this is big because these guys that you traded for will be involved. For the other guys, they're involved just because the injury happened there. So great move there, Tron. Hell of a move there.
I got a couple things if we got a minute. So first of all, in this game, Justin Jefferson looking like Justin Jefferson doing Justin Jefferson things. I think he's over 100 yards again. Carson Wentz, an injured Carson Wentz, comes back into the game and is feeding him. Love to see that. But from Justin Jefferson to another elite wide receiver who has been and continues to struggle, Ja'Marr Chase. I'm really, really concerned about him. So I have an interesting question for you. I know the answer, but I'm going to ask it anyway. Ja'Marr Chase or Jameson Williams this week in the same game? Who you got?
The rocket ship. Oh, baby. Yeah, you know what I'm going to say. It's going to be Ja'Marr Chase. Yeah. Just his usage. I know the offense has been really bad, but like we're seeing this with Justin Jefferson. As long as the QB can do it, and if you just look back to last year when they lost Burrow for a little bit with Ja'Marr Chase, he was still very usable. So I know it's been completely dysfunctional. And you have to trust the process, but this is the whole trust the process thing for that reason. But yeah, I'm not going to blame anyone if they want to play Jameson Williams. Why the hell not? That game should be a shootout. You could go nuclear with it. Jameson Williams could catch 3 touchdowns. Like that's always a range of outcomes. So the floor is much like it's crazy. The floor is super low. Jameson Williams, but the ceiling is high. So how much risk do you want to assume I put in your lineup? That's really the truth.
I think it comes down to I kind of like the Lions defense more than I would like the Bengals defense.
Yeah.
And I think I think Jameson Williams may get you the better one, but you can't sit Jamar Chase. It doesn't matter if it's a blind quarterback in the backfield. You can't sit him, right? So that's
That'd be hilarious.
the real ones would start, Jameson Williams for it because it's like this is again the life we play. But Jamar, it's hard to bench him. You're not. Let's not get there because you want to start him. So we'll see. Tro does have another question for us. So which wide receiver would you recommend targeting in the trade, Rashee or London? Would you consider Olave and McLaurin for London and Hunter Henry, or Olave and Travis Hunter for Rashee? That's Rashee Rice, I assume there. Yeah. So
both.
I take London. Yeah, like I know Jeremy's been preaching the gospel of London for a while now. But yeah, he's a locked-in wide receiver one. Like Rashee Rice is going to have some target competition, and he's coming back from injury. Like we just don't know how it's going to work out. I know. Like there's just a little. I just don't 100% trust the role that he's coming back into compared to what you get out of Drake London. Like you're much more secure in trading for him than Rashee. But yeah, I want both those guys for sure. And if I'm assuming this is redraft, right? Because if this is dynasty,
it's redraft. It's redraft.
Yeah, then that's fine. Like you can move Olave and Hunter for Rashee, no problem. Or like I just think go get the guy you like. Would you trade for London, Jeremy, or would you trade for Rashee?
Yeah, I want London over Rashee for sure, but I like the price on Rashee here in redraft.
Yeah,
I'm not sold on Hunter Henry. He's getting there completely on touchdown. Stephon Diggs, we saw him come on. We know Trevion Henderson isn't doing a ton. So Hunter Henry has been typically boom bust, and I don't expect this offense to rely as much on the pass as they have had to because of Ramondre's fumbling issues, etc. But and I think McLaurin comes back. So I like the Rashee deal better in terms of value, and I do think he comes back. Travis Kelce is a shell of himself. Xavier Worthy is the target competition there. And you can't put that genie back in the bottle, but you can just move that genie to the side and put him on the outside and put Rashee back in the slot where Rashee belongs because he crushes that role. I like both of these deals. London, the better player, Rashee, the better value for me.
Yeah, I think if you're doing it, Olave and Hunter for Rashee is a better value because McLaurin, I get it. He's been banged up. But when he comes back, he is going to be Jaden Daniels' guy, right? So you're losing potentially 2 wide receiver ones for 1 wide receiver one and a tight end that you want a touchdown from, which he can get. He is getting. But Olave and Travis Hunter, the Waldron in Jacksonville is just ruining what the wide receivers are, ruining what we thought Trevor Lawrence is. This might be the last year for Trevor Lawrence, to be honest. It's not looking like he's lived up to what it is. So I think there was a lot of hype on Travis Hunter coming in. As to stop paying out to what it was, I think you get better with Rashee there instead of trading McLaurin and Olave for London there as well.
Yeah,
Kenneth. Oh, go ahead.
No, I was just saying I'm lower on McLaurin, but yeah, I 100% hear you. Like if you're worried about that, then yeah, do that deal.
Kenneth does ask Emeka Egbuka or Cam Skattebo.
God damn it! This is a tough one. Let me actually look at flex rankings. You really want both of these guys in your lineup.
Yeah.
Skattebo's role is a little like he's gonna get a ton of work in this game. They don't have neighbors, so Skattebo is gonna get absolutely force fed. So like if you're playing the role of volume, you trust Skattebo. But yeah, Egbuka's should go bonkers in this game against Seattle. They desperately need him as well. I think I have Skattebo slightly above him. I need to check my rankings to be pretty sure. Yeah. So I have Skattebo like top 25 flex. Egbuka's like 33. Like I love both of these guys. I want them in all my lineups.
Fair. Jerry, you agree there?
Yeah. Love Skattebo. Love his ranking. I don't have an issue going Skattebo as Kenneth is doing right now. But oh no, Chris Godwin came back. There's going to be target competition. Chris Godwin got 10 targets. Egbuka last week, 10 targets, 4 receptions, 101 yards, and a touchdown. This guy's just different. He's phenomenal. I was wrong on him. I was taking guys like that guy in Pittsburgh who doesn't even play, Caleb Johnson over him. So RJ Harvey over him, and he was like my 111 instead of the 107 for most people. So yeah, I was wrong. I'll take it. I'll eat it. This guy's legit, and no Mike Evans. I mean, I'll still go with you with Skattebo because the volume is legit, but Egbuka is a great play too. Who are you playing over these guys? That's what I want to know. Like maybe Kenneth, you got a phenomenal team, and it's these types of decisions, and you're ready to win. But full PPR, like who are you playing over these guys?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, like you think about like how redraft went. Like these guys went late. Like Egbuka got assumed up to round 7, right? Scatabo was like even later than that. So you can get on like 7, 8, and then you can just have stacked roster. I think he knocked it out of the park if he did it right.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, this is gonna be a fun matchup. Scatabo, it comes as advertised, right? He is the guy that can be a workhorse. He's just a bowling ball type of back that has pass catching ability. Egbuka will continue to see a role. It really comes down to the Saints. There you go. We love the picture there. Trying to find a rough
I know,
one
that's hilarious.
Oh, sleeper.
It's an 8-man league, so there's definitely some depth.
There you go.
So there you go. So I mean, as long as the lefties are there, man, no mercy, right? You gotta go in there Cobra Kai style and teach them why you're the fantasy guru in that family there. Make sure you're getting it. Say, hey guys, don't forget I am the guy here. It should be. I don't think you go wrong here. Baker does trust Egbuka. We're seeing him in that major role. There is. I think if Evans was playing, you could lead out of Egbuka because the argument can be made that Chris Godwin and Evans do become their 1-2, right? But we know Ibuka's in there with Evans out. So Godwin, even if Godwin's there and gets the targets, Ibuka is too, because guess what? He's taking what Evans would have got at that point too. Scatterboot, we know there's no competition there. Devin Singletary's not going to push him out or anything. So you had that opportunity. He's in last. So there you go. Hopefully Scatterboot or Ibuka comes in for you. I like Scatterboot though for it right now. Should be fun though. I mean, either way, the Giants with Jackson Dart now, it should be a whole new look offense in this sense there. So should be interesting to see. And they're playing against the Saints. That isn't that great either. So should be there.
Right. Oh yeah. Because like the Seahawks are basically the worst matchup for wide receivers in the NFL right now.
Yeah.
So that is my one concern too. On top of it, like they gave it up to the tight ends, running backs, but so we'll see. We'll see how this mails out because you got two strengths going against each other this week.
So I was just checking I had to start Xavier Scott, and he has -1 point, so that's exciting.
Yeah, he fumbled.
Because he fumbled.
Yeah, he did.
That's just.
I always love that.
So
the negative points. It's always great. As the Cleveland game is, they're about to punt or kick a field goal here.
I think he's got a punt. Yeah, Gabriel had to throw the ball away. He's looked good though. I mean, that's the nice thing about Gabriel. 17 of 28, 146 and 2 with no picks. I mean, this is the best you could have asked for, and they're winning right now. Right. I mean, you couldn't have asked for a better first game against a very good defensive coordinator for Minnesota. The players don't always execute, but at least the coordination and the scheme is legit, and Gabriel's playing well.
146 2 touchdowns. Junkins coming in 112 yards, so definitely looking nice there. Sorry for the Dylan Sampson troopers that were like, oh, he's going to be the guy. He's not. He's not. It's actually Jerome Ford looking like it right now. Sampson has -4 yards. Jerome Ford at least has 18 there. But again, I mean, this was a big game for Gabriel. Come out. It's overseas. You already know it's hard going overseas, right? The time difference, adjusting, the jet lag, all that kind of stuff plays an impact. On top of that, you're going against a defense that is known to be great and just not a great matchup for your rookie guys that are just stepping in. I think if they end up going to win, there's just under 7 minutes left of this game. If they go in there and win, it just shows how confident Dylan Gabriel is and his ability to just really learn that playbook and go in there and make some big plays for him. So there's opportunity.
He had a ton of starts in his college career, right?
Like 5 seasons.
Yeah, so you can tell that he's more prepared than you see a lot of guys being because of that all the reps he took in college. So it's definitely paying off.
Yeah, and not to mention Shedeur. Shedeur did have tons of starts too. The difference is Shedeur went from James Madison to Colorado. Dylan Gabriel went from UCF to Oklahoma to Oregon. Different offenses that all played to his scheme. Shedeur, and I said this before though, the biggest issue isn't that he's not good. It's just that he's had his dad his whole career as the coach. He hasn't really had able to really develop him outside of what his dad did. His dad's a great player, one of the greatest of all time, if you want to say it, but he's not the player to develop the quarterback. And that's what Gabriel was able to have through his career was development to get better and understand how to slow down the game. Shedeur, you still saw it in the preseason. He's running the backfield for 20 seconds and then gets sacked for 20 yards. You can't be doing that in an NFL. That's how you lose games. Sure. Gabriel's not doing that. And that's where the difference comes in. We're seeing it right now. Could we be talking about Shedeur later? Sure. Right now, it does look like Gabriel was the smarter start here, at least with again under 7 minutes left in the game with them leading 17-14. But looks like Minnesota may be driving here. So
Shedeur sees ghosts. It reminds me like there was a game back in like the early 90s where USC QB Todd Marinovich, he was like number one pick, went against Washington. He said all he saw was purple because guys were just destroying his life. So it's a famous quote from that game. That's like Shedeur every time he plays. He just constantly just running around. You're like, dude, chill.
Right. Well, he just throws it. Like there's times where you could try to play hero ball and try to force it right on the Hail Mary. Play that hero ball. Try to throw it deep and make the big play. Other than that, though, you have to make sure you're not just throwing deep every time and saying, all right, my receiver's down it. After that, I'll make it. Yeah, you can't be playing like that in the NFL. So it's gonna be interesting. What's happening with Jordan Addison? Are we
so good? He's just so good. What a catch!
Did he actually catch it?
So yeah, beautiful catch.
So he got like benched or something. I heard some ramblings of it. Like he was basically benched for some unknown reason. That's why he was non-fact in the first half. So this is stuff if we don't have the good reporting, we just get hosed. We're like, throw him out there. He had 8 targets last week. And
Mason.
Another one?
20-yard run. 20-yard run. Let's go.
He got 12 points. Let's go.
Oh, yeah. Well, I got him in SFB, so he's got like 40.
Love that. That's what I'm talking about. Yeah, I love how Juice the Score gives that format.
I got an SFB question for you guys.
Let's do it.
I'm starting Garrett Wilson, but I have Mason Taylor. And I'm going with JMO, going with my gut, but I have some good bench options right here. So JMO and Taylor are my questionable guys. And here are my bench options: Wandale or Theo, same, both Giants. Ertz, who I haven't started. Thankfully, started fanning over him. Almost benched fanning for Ertz. Didn't do it, which was good. Juwan Johnson.
Taylor's in your offense right now?
So on my bench, so in the lineup is Mason Taylor against Dallas and JMO against Cincy. But sitting on my bench right now are Wandale and Theo Johnson, Zach Ertz and Juwan Johnson.
I mean, I think you can make the case for Theo without Neighbors, right? Like there's just Wandale, Slayton, like there's a pathway for him against they should. With Dart, they should move it. But yeah, you want the juice, you're right, JMO. But yeah, the scoring is just so juice for tight ends.
I know.
That's the struggle, right? So I don't mind Theo, to tell you the truth. I don't mind him.
I think you can make the case for Ertz with Jaden Daniels back. We know he likes to target him as well, and Terry McLaurin is not there. I think Ertz could have a big game.
I have Daniels and Debo in. Yeah, Terry didn't even travel.
Then for sure. Yeah.
But so all right, so I got Daniels, I got Debo in. So if I put Ertz in, I got JMO or Mason Taylor out.
I would say Taylor. I think.
Yeah.
What did he have last week?
He gets okay numbers in SFB.
In SFB last week, 28 points.
Yeah, I think that's the whole thing with Taylor. Like it's not great, but in this format, he got 17 the week before, 28. Like if he gives you 5 for 50, like I think, and this Dallas, like.
Yeah, it's Dallas.
Taylor here. I'm talking myself.
I know.
On the bench. Oh no.
No, Jam. Oh, so you're replacing JMO, which makes sense. Which totally makes sense in this format. Replacing JMO with Ertz or Theo or Juwan Johnson. Probably not Wandale. I'm probably not going to replace a wide receiver for a wide receiver, but Wandale could get the numbers.
Right.
But
I think Ertz is fine.
Ertz.
But the scoring format, tight ends is the numbers you want. So
100%. But Ertz has only gotten in the last 2 weeks 15 and 12 points, but those are Mariota weeks,
right?
Yep. I think you can go. Just go with your gut on this one. It's tough.
Going JMO. I think I'm gonna go JMO.
Do it. Ride your line. That's your guy. Put a bit of line up.
Yeah. I mean, you got to use them some point, right?
Yeah.
And then Juwan Johnson, that's another, but it's that's so ugly.
I was trying to trade for him. And then they're like, Tatum's come back, and I'm like, scratch all that. I don't want to trade for him anymore.
Can you imagine if SFB had trades? Just the chaos. I guess it couldn't because you'd have people saying, I'll just trade, you know what I mean? So you can't do it. They just have to lock it like week 5. You have to lock it out. So week 2, you have 1 week to trade. That's it.
Right now, I got Devontae Adams, Jordan Mason, Harold Fannin, all 23-ish points, all 3 of them. So good start. Good start.
Only bad star is Carson Wentz right now in there.
Oh, Njoku with 34. Ooh, baby.
I have Fanning
On that note, I'm gonna go grades for TikTok show. So
nice.
I will see y'all. Anybody wants to come over there? Come join me. I hope you guys show
Do it.
And
it's gonna be intense. So many questions.
It's like machine gun format. It's crazy. But all right, I'll see you guys
awesome. Sweet.
There you go. Have a good one. Don't forget, for those that want to join in the TikTok, there is the link at the top left there. Go ahead and scan that barcode, get in there, and ask some questions to Jesse there as well. Let's go ahead and do, which one are we doing here? Let's do that one.
Nice. SC, so we got Jake Ferguson, 6, 12, 14, and 7 targets over his first 4 weeks. We know CeeDee Lamb is out, so he's Mr. Necessary. Mm-hmm. He plays the Jets this week, then Carolina next week. What are you thinking about, like, making a deal? Because I would imagine CeeDee Lamb, maybe he comes back for what, week 7? That's kind of the timeline against Washington, which would be nice. Mm-hmm. But, you know, maybe even when CeeDee comes back, they're going to kind of give him a week or 2 to ramp up, or maybe he'll just need that. And then Denver, Arizona, week 8 and 9. Maybe we don't see CeeDee until after the bye, especially if Dallas is winning. Mm-hmm. Jake Ferguson gets the Jets, Carolina, and Washington with only George Pickens really there to challenge him. And like you said, was it Turpin also out? Mm-hmm. And he's the check down guy. He's Dak's safety blanket with a crap offensive line now because everybody's hurt. How many kidneys will you give for Jake Ferguson on your fantasy team right now?
Yeah, I mean, well, you always got to look at scoring format, right? So if it's tight end premium, you want to give up a lot because you know he's there. Jake Ferguson he's been one of Dak's guys, you know, so you know he's going to get the targets. Even when CeeDee comes back, he's still going to get some involvement there. So I definitely like it. You asked how many kidneys. If I had 3, I think I could give 3 for him. I think there's this opportunity for it to go out there and give it. It depends on your tight ends too. But if you're starting with, maybe you have a Mark Andrews and you need one. You know, Mark Andrews is at this point boomer bust. I like Njoku. We're seeing Njoku, as Jesse, you know, referenced earlier. The offense is kind of running through the tight ends, but we also know Harold Fannin is emerging. So maybe you're like, man, I want to get out of Njoku while I can and still have some opportunity here for it. So I think there is a route where you can go out there and trade him. The thing is, can you get him for a fair price? Like, I'm not giving away premium talent, but he might be scraping that line of one of those premium tight ends there to do it. Just thinking this in my head. I mean, I may try to give like Kyle Pitts for him. I think that could be something where you try to pivot off of, you know, especially if we're talking redraft. So Dynasty, you could argue differently, but redraft, maybe.
Love me some Kyle Pitts, but I agree with you. Here are my tight ends of my Dynasty team right now. I got Travis Kelce. I got Evan Ingram. I got Noah Gray. I got Aronde Gadsden. I got Jake Tongas sitting on my bench because Jake Ferguson is starting. Not tight end premium, but I need to drop a tight end or 2. But still, Jake Ferguson crushing. I think Travis Kelce's probably cooked. Sadly, Jake Ferguson's the guy. Yeah.
And you said you had Noah Gray. Was that the right guy?
I do, yeah. He's ready. So. He's locked in, ready for like 3 years, waiting for like 3 years. Right. Kelce to retire.
Kelce having some big things, getting engaged and stuff. So maybe this is the year he retires. Ingram, you said you had Evan Ingram too. That's the guy I would try to pivot off of. It just doesn't look like he's it. And granted, he could be second half kind of warrior there for you, but that's the guy I was trying to pivot away from. You know, maybe package him in to get someone else as well. But out of the tight ends you mentioned, that's the one I have probably the least hope for to succeed. And Gadsden's looking like he's getting part of involvement too, so he could be a sleeper guy for you. Yeah, Ferguson, take Tongas. We know once Kittle comes back, Tongas may not be as involved. But you know, you can't start him right now. Actually did start in one league, gave me 17 points, so that's nice.
Yep.
But yeah, I mean Ferguson, that's a good start. You know, you're going against the Jets, so it's nice for him.
He's going to crush. And then Jordan Mason, speaking about crushing, Jordan Mason is crushing. Absolutely love that for him. Even though he fumbled, he still got the touchdown. He's still being used in the receiving game a couple times. He's great until Aaron Jones comes back. But Aaron Jones is coming back. What do you think about like Mason over the next couple weeks with Jones probably back in a week or 2?
Right. I think Mason, until he tells us otherwise, you can still start him. It looks like, in my opinion, Mason may be their 1-2 guy, where Jones ends up being the change of pace, especially with Xavier Scott. Not necessarily, he's looking okay, but we know Aaron Jones will be there, and especially with him banged up. We might see Minnesota try to ease him in and say, okay, we're not going to use you as a 3-down back, but we'll use you as a 3rd-down change of pace guy because we know you can benefit there. And he has better pass catching ability than what Jordan Mason has. So you might see Jordan Mason go on there and move the chains, kind of, wear down the defense 1 and 2 punches there, and then you're going to throw in Aaron Jones to try to get that first down or even the big play with the touchdown. So I think until, even with Aaron Jones comes back, if he has Jordan Mason, I think he's a value starter. Until we see otherwise, that's not it. I think you got to roll with it. But then Aaron Jones, I think you can plug him in once he comes back too, because he is going to have a role, and it's going to be Xavier Scott that loses the opportunity, not Jordan Mason there. So
yeah, 100%. And a bye week next week, but then Philly after that. So we'll see what they do. I got one more for you, just from my own personal stash, and then I'll cede the floor to you what you got. But I got Travion Henderson and Steph Diggs sitting on my bench because I'm starting Woody Marks. Bridge too far, or are you Marks over Diggs and Henderson this week?
Not 100% Woody Marks. Henderson, let me see. What was his stat line last week? Because I know he had something good last week.
He ran a touchdown in from close, but then they gave the next one to Antonio Gibson.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just weird.
Henderson. So when it came to Henderson, I was saying before the draft, he is someone that could do less with more, and unfortunately, he has not done anything with less. I mean, it carries for week 1, 5 for 27, week 2, 3 for 10, week 4, 11 for 28, week 3, 11 for 28, week 4, 7 for 32 and a touchdown. It's just not. This is just the committee approach that we just know we hate in New England, and it's just going reference. Doesn't matter if they have elite running backs, they just play a committee approach, and it's just ugly. Stephon Diggs, I do like that as well, but again, the offense in general just looks ugly. Like they might be doing okay, but like for fantasy wise, it just looks ugly. Diggs did come in, do some what do you have, like
101, 6 for 101 was on 7 targets. Yeah.
So you're hoping he gets more involved second week, or second week this year. We had 7 targets, 6 receptions. You do like seeing that for him to get that involvement there. But what we saw with Woody Marks last week, and D'Amico Ryan came out and said he's going to get more opportunity. He led the team, 17 carries. Did he have 100 yards? I don't recall.
I'm checking it out now. Give me a second.
No, 69 yards and a touchdown. But what we also knew, shout out the guy Ray JQ as well, because he will say Woody Marks to be RB4, and honestly, it's looking like he might be. But 5 receptions, 5 targets, 4 receptions, 50 yards and a touchdown. So he had 2 touchdowns last week.
Stud.
He's pushing over Nick Chubb. And the reason is Nick Chubb is a great back, but Nick Chubb is coming off of injuries, right? So he's not the same back as he once was. Woody Marks has a different explosion to him. He's someone that can be out the backfield, make the plays. And this is, again, shout out your show, Adjust Your Ranks, right? This is where we have to adjust it because of what we're seeing on the tape and what's happening on the field. Henderson's not getting the looks we thought as a top 5 running back of this class. It's being sheltered by Antonio Gibson sneaking some touchdowns. It's being sheltered by Ramondre Stevenson still getting some looks as the back on the field. Woody Marks, however, is the one taking that away from Chubb. Joe Mixon probably not playing this season. Chubb's banged up, but guess what? They don't want to use Chubb's like crazy and risk hurting him. So what are they going to do? Get this rookie that has fresh legs, push him in, and go in there. I'm starting Woody Marks in leagues against Baltimore that doesn't have Roquan Smith this week. This is a great
no Kyle Hamilton either. Kyle Hamilton out.
This is a fantastic week to start against the Baltimore Ravens at Baltimore. Woody Marks could have a big week, and especially with CJ Stroud struggling, I mean, Woody Marks may be the guy that's like, all right, this is the guy that's going to hold the offense up. So I say Marks.
They have a bye in week 6, and it gets more difficult. Seattle, San Francisco, Denver after that. So it's not ideal, but it's also probably not Nick Chubb, right? It's probably still Woody Marks getting the work there, and you want the guy who gets the work. If he stays healthy and we assume and looks good, then it's Jacksonville, Tennessee, Buffalo, Indy. So it's for the next month after that, it's a good stretch. And then in the playoffs, it's Arizona, Vegas, and the Chargers, who haven't been dominant on the defensive side. So Woody Marks, potential league winner. Hopefully you went out and grabbed him because he looked great last week.
For sure. Yeah, he should have been involved in your redraft dynasty. He's probably not, but redraft he was there. Blurpy, thanks for joining in. Blurpy has a question here. He said Chase Brown or Rico Dowdle full PPR. Shout out Rico Dowdle, man. I'm gonna say Rico on here. You want to play the matchup. That's first and foremost. Chase Brown just looks not like we want it to look like at all. Against Miami, this is a great matchup for any running backs right now.
Oh yeah,
Chase Brown against the Lions.
Not bad.
Yeah, but it just hasn't at this point. This is a time where you could still trade guys based on name value. I would try to pivot off Chase Brown and try to upgrade. Thoughts there?
Yep. It's hard to do. I tried to do this last week when he had that first down game. Nobody wants anything to do with Chase Brown in Dynasty and even in redraft. I mean, if you're not scoring points in redraft, you're basically worthless. Chase Brown, for me, I think he has a bounce back game. I don't know exactly what bounce back looks at this point, but it probably looks like at least a touchdown going against Detroit. I mean, that's a very beatable defense. He's going to get all the work through the air. He's going to get all the work on the ground. So you like the volume there. And he's my RB24 this week, right? Not what we're used to with Chase Brown, but still a back end RB2. But Rico Dowdle's higher. Rico Dowdle's my RB21. I do want to push him higher. I think it's clearly Rico Dowdle. So I'm with you there, SC.
I absolutely love that for Rico. I think that's a great opportunity for him to go out there and do those big plays for it. This is big. I mean, this is. You start Rico because he's gonna play like this is his only shot, right? Because we don't know how long she was gonna be out. Rico is gonna say, "Hey, I want this role. I want to take it away," right? Chase Brown. I mean, it might be to the point where we might be saying, "All right, when's Charles Brooks coming in?" He just hasn't looked like he's the guy we thought, right? He's getting the carries, but just hasn't been efficient with it, and that's where it becomes unfortunate for it. So I would definitely go there. He said, "What about Brown or BTJ?"
I think you got to go BTJ. BTJ still getting the targets. They're going to convert him eventually. I'm trying to remember the matchup, so give me a second. I don't think it's great because it's KC, right? Because it's ETN against Kansas City. I'm pretty sure it's Kansas City. Is that right? Yeah, it's Kansas City.
Yes,
but they're in Jacksonville. Look, Trent McDuffie is him. He's the guy. I was seeing this stat like yesterday or today that he allows the least amount of separation of PFF charting things well. I think it's like next gen, so I don't even know if it's PFF who's doing it, but with the chips and the shoulder pads, and they're charting the cornerbacks who have the least amount of separation against them on every single route run against them. Trent McDuffie's number one, so Trent McDuffie is going to be plastered all over BTJ. BTJ can go up and get the football for sure. Will Trevor Lawrence throw it to him? That's the question. But he has been. It's just been a weird connection, and we know the BTJ alligator arm thing where he's not extending because he doesn't. But Trevor Lawrence throwing a crap ton of hospital balls. So I'll go BTJ over Brown, but I do think Brown has a decent floor. But BTJ has the ceiling you want.
BTJ definitely has the ceiling you want. The thing is, I don't feel we've seen that ceiling this year as we saw last year. This one's tough because last year you're saying both these guys are dominant starters. You're starting both of them every week last year. This year, I might go Brown, man. I think Brown just made, especially with that stat you just gave, I think Brown just may be it. BTJ is going to get the cover. Maybe this is a big game for Travis Hunter, but BTJ is just, it just doesn't look good with Waldron there and with what what's his name's doing. Trevor Lawrence to say Terry McLaurin, but Trevor Lawrence, Brown, BT, like you said, ceiling for BTJ, but Brown's probably the safer bet. So I would take that. He does.
Before we get to this next question, we have 39 seconds and counting in this football game. Minnesota is driving. Cleveland Browns have wasted their entire timeout allocation. So Minnesota is at the 15. They're basically, I don't know why they threw it to. They just threw a touchdown. I have no idea why they did that. But Jordan Addison gets in the end zone. But it looks like they're going to win this game. There's now roughly 30 seconds left, 25 seconds left. And Minnesota is probably going to be up 4. If they're up 3, maybe it gets interesting. But Jordan Addison with a touchdown. Vikings likely to win. Let's see what happens over the last 30 seconds or so.
Clutch with Jordan Nash, and I started him in the
Stud.
league.
Stud.
And we'll see. I will say on this though, people are gonna be like, Dylan Gabriel lost the game. This was the defense that lost the game. It wasn't Dylan Gabriel, so you have to keep that in consideration. It wasn't Dylan. It wasn't Dylan Gabriel here. He looked nice this week. He did come out and say he has Diggs too, already starting Olave and Debo in wide receiver spots. So I'm gonna stick with those guys, I think. So we're saying Diggs, Olave, Debo, BTJ, Olave, Debo. I would say yes, start. See, so now you're saying Diggs, Chase Brown, or BTJ. Does that change anything if you have Diggs?
No, I think we're going to Olave Debo with this one. Debo a little hurt, so you might want to look out. But it's Jaden Daniels, so let's go with that. But let's go to James here because James has an interesting question.
Go ahead, James.
What do you think about this one? Ayamanor or Downs?
Yeah.
Woo! What do you got, SC?
You gotta go Ayamanor.
I think so.
Downs just isn't. It's just not looking great with Danny Dimes there. Pittman's being the monster there. I think you have to go Ayamanor. But the difference is kind of hoping for a touchdown. Let me pull up Ayamanor's stats fully here.
Yep, and I got Downs for you as well. But the thing is, the matchup is nice. The only problem is, James, that nobody's healthy for Vegas. So I think that front in Indy that has looked really good in the offseason, or sorry, throughout the early season, I really think they limit what Vegas is able to do with Bowers out. And that's going to just be even more difficult for Downs to see anything. I think there's a big JT game. I think Danny Dimes gets in there. But you're asking me also to trust the Titans offense. This is a really close one. So, SC, what do you got on the numbers?
So with Ayamanor, he has been definitely more involved. This is just week by week. The thing is, he's not, let's say, converted, but he's getting the targets. 7 targets, 6 targets, 5 targets, 7 targets. The flip side, the receptions, 2, 4, 4, 2. He has found the end zone twice. You are kind of hoping for that, but he is getting more involvement than what Josh Downs is. So you at that point, you gotta kind of play that because on the flip side, did you have Downs up?
Yeah, Downs is the 3, 8, 3, and 5 targets, 2, 6, 2, and 4 receptions. Only one game of 51 yards. The rest is 34 or below. No touchdowns is the tricky part. The biggest issue, of course, here is Jonathan Taylor and Tyler Warren soaking that up. But Michael Pittman back healthy. Danny Dimes can run it. Josh Downs probably should be more involved, but they don't need him, and they don't use him.
And so Calvin Ridley has been dealing with the knee and elbow injury as well. He is trending towards playing. He is on track to play. But with that, does that affect his involvement? Right now, Ayamanor is the wide receiver 2 for the team. He is the one that's going there. So if Ridley is out or at least, limited on his snaps, does that mean more for Ayamanor? I think there's more upside to starting Ayamanor. Either way, you're chasing at least a touchdown for both of them. The difference is Ayamanor has 2, Downs has 0. So I think your safer bet is Ayamanor there to go out there and make the big play for it as well. So that's a tough one, and what a time to be alive to be between Ayamanor and Downs. But
you got Ayamanor?
Yeah, I say Ayamanor.
Same. Also, Ayamanor 2 tutties on the season, down 0. That's what I'll hang my hat on.
Right. Appreciate you here for us, James, and don't forget to subscribe to us as well. We're here every Sunday morning to answer the questions for you. Jelly of the Month, thanks for joining in. He says PPR, I have Pollard and Spears, who is now active. Drop Spears to stats for Sarge Smith.
I do like that. What do you think about that? I'm assuming all of these are redraft.
Right.
So I have Brashard Smith stashed in a couple of redraft spots. Tajay Spears doesn't scare me, but of course he can look, he's always been dynamic. The thing is, he's always injured. So he's always coming off of injury. And how dynamic can he be? I like the guy who's not injured. I would prefer to stash Brashard Smith. I think Pollard and Spears limit each other. That doesn't help your fantasy team. You kind of hope that one of these guys wins the role outright. Is Pollard the early down and Spears the third down guy? Maybe. But could Brashard Smith just be better than all of these KC backs? And they're like, fuck it, we roll. I think that's more likely than that happening on a terrible offense in Tennessee. I'm taking the guy on a good offense.
Right. I think there is Pollard and Spears now have to drop Spears. Thing is, Broussard Spears definitely has Kareem Hunt and Isaiah Pacheco. Both those backs haven't been playing great. The rest of the season isn't the best for Broussard Smith. If Pollard goes down, Spears steps into that role.
Yeah.
Broussard Smith, you're hoping that he gets more involved in the passing game, and he has been. Or there is an injury there as well, so there is opportunity. But I think you keep the cuff. Yeah. You're not starting Smith if you get it, so I don't think you're necessarily losing it. But Pollard, he could get banged up, and next thing you know, they're going to someone else. We have you say yeah to that? Drop Spears for Broussard?
I would. I have Broussard Smith stashed in an uncomfortable amount of places.
There you go.
He did also my fantasy teams.
It was redraft too, so there you go. Mr. Rogba, thanks for joining in. He says, "Full PPR, would you start Rico or Woody?" Ooh, Woody. Yeah.
It feels wrong though. It feels wrong because it's such a smash matchup for Rico.
I think it is for Woody this week too, though.
It is, but that offensive line is absolute trash. But it is on the same. These are the same guy, except Woody's more dynamic. So exactly. I hear you and I agree with you. It feels wrong, but I will go Woody with you.
So our question here, Mr. Agma, is who else are you starting over these guys? Because we may say start both of them here, and let us know here. But right now we both say Woody here. Khalil, good morning, bros. Nice for you to join in. Need help on my RB2. Genty or Javonte Williams, appreciate your help. Thumbs up, subscribe. Hey, I appreciate you, Khalil. Genty or Javonte Williams? Javonte Williams playing against the Jets.
Yep.
And Genty playing against
Genty is
the Raiders. Hold on, I have it right here. Indy. At Indy.
Yep. I got an answer. I don't like it.
I do too.
Do it.
I think you start Javonte.
You start Javonte.
Yeah. I think that's your person there is Javonte Williams. Bowers is out though too, right? So
yeah, it's gonna all go to Genty. The problem is Colton Miller is out for an extended amount of time. He was the only thing that was good about that offensive line. Now it's just gonna be trash. Can Genty get a lot of short area targets from Geno Smith? That's certainly possible. Maybe they even change things around in the offense to account for Miller out. But what's his name? Raheem Mostert was out there getting a bunch of targets. Dylan Lobby, I think he wasn't healthy, but when healthy, he was getting the targets in the backfield too. So these guys kind of soak up those additional targets. Trey Tucker has looked good in limited amount of games. I think he's a good play. Jacoby Myers, they're basically the same guy to me. Jacoby Myers is going to see a ton, but yeah, I'm going Javonte. It's a good matchup. He's also got a ton of offensive line issues, but I think the difference is he catches a bunch of passes and his quarterback is much better. I'll go Dak over Geno any day.
Yeah, that one's a big one. Yeah, Dak over Geno. I like that concept there and that mindset. Yeah. Except these trades here. Hold on. People just doing some trades in my league. I need to make sure it goes through.
No, do it. Let me get this one while you do that. M. Ragma again, starting Genty and Brees in my 2 RB spots. So we need 2 flex spots. We got Rico, Woody. I assume that's Rashid Shaheed. Correct us if wrong, M. Ragma. White, Rico, and K9. So we got to pick 2 of these guys. We got Rico twice. It's looking like Rico and Woody. I mean, Kenneth Walker is a really good option, but because of his talent. But Zach Charbonnet is stealing every single touchdown. So I think Rico is a really good bet to score. I think Woody is a really good bet to score this week. These other guys are good options, but I'm going Rico and Woody. What are you doing?
Yeah, oh, wait, hold on. He says flex Rico, Woody, Rashad White. Rico and K9. Rico's just my right?
Rashad White.
Yeah.
He says that as well. So yeah, it's all good.
Oh, put Rico
so it's Rico. It's Rico, Woody, Rashad White, and Kenneth Walker.
So Kenneth Walker, I want to chase the upside, so I would put Woody over him. Rico as well. Rashad White. Who are the Bengals playing here though? They're playing Seattle.
Tampa Bay Bucks. The Bucks are playing Seattle. Yeah. Correct. Yeah.
I said Bengals. Yeah, Bucks.
Yeah, it's fine.
Man, what a time. Rico and Woody is what I'll say here. Rashad White will get a lot of the work.
Rashad White's first name is spelled like that, which is stupid.
Yeah.
But hey, everybody's name is spelled differently, so just what it is.
But yeah, I say Rico and Woody there. I think they have the most upside in it.
Yeah.
The thing with K9, I do. If we're looking at best back, I think Kenneth Walker is. Thing is, though, he has Zach Charbonnet in there as well. That's going to be taking away some of it, possibly some end zone work that is going to push Kenneth Walker down. Woody Mark, I'm not worried about Nick Chubb because Woody Marks can pass catch better than what Nick Chubb can. Rico, I'm not worried about Trevor Etienne right now. He will get some work, but it's not going to be affecting him. Rachaad White will get a lot more to work there. Against Seattle, though, I don't know if they're necessarily going to force it in like that. So I think Rico and Woody there as well. That's where I would go.
Yeah, Seattle is a good defense. They're coached up as well. But, they really have done well in the short area passing game. They kind of get burned on the back end. Rick Woolen is a good kind of sticky cover guy, but at the same time, he gets beat often as well. Usually guys just go up over him pretty easily. So that's the issue that I have with Seattle against Rachaad White. I also have a Sean Tucker issue, right? It should be a Rachaad White game, but Sean Tucker has looked great in limited work. I think Sean Tucker is probably the guy you want long-term, maybe Rachaad White this week over Sean Tucker. But if you have these better options like Rico, like Woody, I think you got to start them.
And then Chip comes in here and he does ask us, PPR with Bowers out now, Jacoby or Tet. I'm
going Tet. I mean, Tet, he's got all the targets. We don't love the offensive environment and what it's been, but Tet is still getting all of the work. And Chuba Hubbard now out. We've been talking about Rico, so that's a little bit less there. Jatavian Sanders out, so Tommy Tremble again slots in. He got some work last week, but Tet is the main attraction here, and he's going up against the Miami Dolphins. Like that's the biggest thing for me. Kobe is going to receive all the work, but is Geno going to get enough time now to get the ball to him downfield? I don't know.
Yeah, I say Tet here. This is one of those ones where. Tet's the main focal point of the offense as far as the passing game. Jacoby, even with Bowers out, they may try to get Beck involved, or we've seen Spacey on the 9 there. Trey Tucker, makes some big plays, which is what Jacoby was doing last year. Maybe Trey Tucker this year. So it's just a lot of skeptic around Jacoby. So I would say Tet is your safer bet there. Jacoby may get a touchdown, but Tet will get more targets in my opinion. So I would say Tet there.
100%. Just a quick note, Miles Sanders is out. So that's not a huge impact on Javonte Williams, but if you had any questions about whether he's getting the work, he's getting the work. Jaden Blue blisters from his Louis Vuitton blue cleats at practice. Come on, Rook.
Yeah.
But I will say, he'll be out there a little bit, but this is going to be a Javonte Williams game. He's going to see 89% of the snaps in this one.
He does say he was leading Tet too. So yeah, I think you got sometimes you go with your gut, man. That Tet is that gut feeling right there. Just go ahead and take it there and there. As we are 10 minutes away from kickoff, if you are joining in or you have friends there on TikTok, make sure you scan that code in the top left corner there because we do have Jesse over on TikTok answering all the questions as well. Update on the Cleveland Brown game. They did lose 17-21. Some big plays from it though. Let's go through and look at the matchup on what it was just for your fantasy here. Give you 1 second. We had Carson Wentz come out with 29 points. This is just your standard 6-point passing, 25 yards, stuff like that. 29 points. Dillon Gabriel had 19 points in his first career start with 2 touchdowns, 190 yards. Carson Wentz, 236, 1 touchdown. Jordan Mason, 12.9 points there, 52 yards and 1 touchdown. Yeah, Quinshon Judkins, who's running away with RB1 in my opinion. 110 yards, no touchdowns with 1 reception for 18 yards. Then you had Justin Jefferson do his thing, 123 yards off of 7 receptions, 20 points. Jordan Addison gained that touchdown at the end to win the game. 5 receptions, 41 yards and a touchdown, 15 points there. Jalen Naylor, I mean, not nothing crazy, but he did have 1 rush for 15 yards and 3 receptions for 27 yards. On the flip side, though, nobody for the wide receivers did anything for Cleveland, so we know they're probably going to be looking at wide receiver. Imagine if Cleveland gets Jordan Tyson or Nakai Lemon next year, but Isaiah Bond, 2 for 29. Jerry Jeudy, drop him if you can, 2 for 15. Jamari Thrash, 1 for 22. Just not looking at it. On the flip side, though, for tight ends, David Njoku, 6 receptions, 67 yards and a touchdown, 18.7 points. Harold Fannin, 4 for 4, 13 yards and a touchdown, 11.3. The 13 yards is concerning there, but go ahead.
Yeah, but on Fannin, it is concerning. But what is not concerning is that Fannin did almost all of his damage on the first drive and scored the first touchdown.
Mhm.
But those are the scripted plays. They're
Right.
getting Harold Fannin involved as much as they can. But we did see Dylan Gabriel prefer David Njoku even when Harold Fannin was on the field. So the
Right.
scripted plays, Fannin is good. The coaching staff loves him. They want him to get involved. We've heard this all offseason. We've seen it. But it may be slightly concerning that the work is going to Njoku. Now, you're holding Fannin, you're playing Fannin, you're hoping he gets Njoku gets
Right.
dealt. That's the big rumor right now. We'll
Right.
see if that comes to fruition, but Gabriel looked great.
Yeah. On the flip side there, Josh Oliver outscoring TJ Hawkinson, 2 receptions, 35 yards, and a touchdown from Cam Akers, nonetheless.
Yeah.
And Hawkinson, though, 6 for 6, 38 yards, no touchdowns. They were
No.
9.8. So very good. This was a good fantasy score because I feel
Yeah.
outside of Jerry Jeudy, I feel everyone you started, I guess you could say Hawkinson, but I mean, still not bad for a tight end. But I feel like everyone, came out and did what they needed to do in the London game.
21-17 in math is 38. I think it hit the over. I think this
Nice.
game hit the over. Holy crap.
Nice. Let's take a look. That'll be big. That'll be big.
I think it was 35-5 as of a couple days ago. I don't know how much it rose, but atrocious over under.
Nice.
We were talking
Yeah.
all week. Yes.
Those games are always hard. And honestly, this is when it comes to fantasy, this was a nice one, in my opinion, for him when it comes to the London game. So there's going to be a lot more opportunity here. Again, I don't think this game was on Dylan Gabriel. I think he's going in next week to start. I know rumors are like they win, maybe Shador. They go at Pittsburgh, then Miami, then at New England, then their bye week. I can see Gabriel, unless he might get the start for the next 4 weeks. Flacco started for 4 weeks, so he might get the start for the next 4 weeks, see how he does
He
it.
should.
After the bye week, you have at the Jets, you have Baltimore, at Vegas, San Fran, Tennessee, and then your playoff schedule comes at Chicago, Buffalo, and Pittsburgh, both home games. So it's not bad.
Not bad.
No, he did have a couple of throws where he overthrew him, and it was like, man, you could have done that, but that comes with his height. He's not able to see over these big 6'6" linemen, and he's having to make some throws, but he does have a dart, and as the season progresses, he looks pretty good. 33 passing attempts, 19 completions. I'm not disappointed in what Gabriel did.
No, 100%. SC, now that we have 5 minutes left, I'm going to ask you an IDP question. I got Troy Dye going. Troy Dye's Chargers. He crushed last week against the Giants. He's got 86% of the snaps. Or another guy, because I have a couple of bye weeks, so I'm just looking for that final IDP flex.
Mm-hmm.
Another guy who's had increased usage is Leo Chenal. I also have Drew Tranquil, but Drew Tranquil seems like he's taking a back seat. And Jack Gibbons also had a great game. So I have those 3 options. Jack Gibbons on the Pats had a good game last week. The usage was way up. Leo Chenal, the usage was way up. Troy Dye. I mean, a lot of this is kind of injury-based. Chenal looks like he might be taking over. Who do you like out of those 3 guys this week?
I think Chenal is a good pick. You kind of see the emergence from him, as you mentioned there, going in there. Who was your third guy? Because you said
so it was Dye, Chenal, and Gibbons. So I have
Gibbons.
Tranquil as well, but Jack Gibbons took over. I can't remember who was injured, and they played Carolina, but 9 tackles. And Gibbons actually just saw in the last 2 weeks 44 and 45% of the snaps. So he's just being used more. But 9 tackles last week out of nowhere.
Yeah. I like Gibbons. The issue with Gibbons was, if I'm not mistaken, he had like a back injury last year, so you always want to be cautious on that. But he is a great linebacker. And he is someone that can make those plays. So if we're seeing that usage go up, I think there's opportunity to start starting him because we know he is, so he can be the leader of a defense. And we saw that at college level, and now we're seeing it. Okay, maybe this is his time to start emerging. So Gibbons may have that floor. You said Dye's in your starting lineup right now.
Yeah, at the moment, and I think he's playing Washington.
Right. So I like Dye, but it's a great pickup. It's a great stats to have Gibbons there as well, because I think as the season progresses, Gibbons will be your start guy.
Do you think Tranquil is just seeing less? I mean, he's still out there. I don't really know what these Kansas City Chiefs are doing with their linebackers between Bolton, who's great and starts all the time, but it's the other guy next to him. It's Tranquil, it's Chenal. Chenal looks good, but Tranquil's on the field a lot. I don't get it.
Yeah, let me just double check here for Tranquil. Give me 1 second.
I got 85% snap share, which is roughly an average, and 7 tackles, but he doesn't do a whole lot. He recovered a fumble last week, so that spiked his score, but typically he's just tackles and nothing else.
Yeah, and that's, in IDP, you definitely want to try to get those tackles right, but he's kind of like a ghost of the past. He was solid, and now it's kind of aging out into it, so you have to get the younger guys to come in. So I think he's a good bye week person, Sam, but I don't know if you want to start him every week, especially when you're looking at the Chiefs and what they're doing. Chiefs are always hard to figure out how they're going to be going with their defensive guys, and it's been rough for Chiefs defense as a whole for fantasy purposes. They look good on paper for fantasy. It's really
playing them this
hard.
week.
Yeah, so it's not a bad one there. But it should be fun. How's your SFB lineup looking as we have 2 minutes left for last minute questions here?
Yeah, pretty good. So currently at 74 points with 3 players, Adams, Mason, and Fannin. So they all did what they need to do. We got Garrett Wilson. We got Scattaboo. We got Godwin. We got Jaden Daniels and Dak Prescott. So happy about this. Benching Zach Ertz for Jameson Williams. Good Lord. I don't know if it's going to work, but I like it. Dillon Gabriel and his 21 points in SFB is on my bench because I got Dak and Jaden, but nice to see. How about you? What are you looking like?
Looks like I might get my first win of the season in SFB. Right now I have 166 points between Christian McCaffrey's 56, Judkins 32, Fannin 22, and Tonga's 36.
Nice.
Still have Derrick Henry, Hunter Henry, Devontae Smith, Woody Marks, Mark Andrews, and Trevor Lawrence. I have to start Trevor Lawrence over Cam Ward, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
It's Kansas City, but you got it. Yeah.
Yes. If you can, I would go drop what you can. If you can, 100%.
Yeah. If you got small benches, you do it. Dustin, we got to pick 2 in 1 minute for Dustin.
Pittman, Dobbins, Woody, Carter, DeMarco. Woody and Dobbins.
Woody and Dobbins. Yep.
There you go. Woody and
Dobbins. Love Pittman. Woody and Dobbins. Do it.
Yeah. They're just gonna get it there. Hopefully you're able to set those in the last 30 seconds there, Dustin. But Woody and Dobbins for sure.
Dobbins tough matchup. If you have to do Pittman, you do Pittman. But Woody start him.
Yeah, I do like the Ricardo and Carter too, but I would say Woody and Dobbins are your safer bets.
Tennessee.
But with that, as we're winding down here, to the last minutes here, appreciate everyone joining in. As you know, every Sunday, 90 minutes before kickoff, we are here to answer all your start sit questions. We have the link up top on the top left there of your screen. Go ahead and click that. Get onto our TikTok. We are doing shows on there that are live, answering all your questions throughout the week as well. We have shows from Adjusted Ranks, Dynasty Dogs, Devi Planet happening, Devi Game Day, Start Sit, our roundtable. Everything is happening here in the fantasy football universe. So make sure you are subscribing. I'm going to throw this one up one last time because if you aren't, make sure you scroll up to the very top. Join our Fantasy Football Universe Discord. We have tons of guys in there chatting everything ball from who you're starting, who you're sitting, who you're trading, what are you doing in these kind of situations. All that is there for you, so make sure you are joining in there as well. And he just dropped it again there at the bottom there, so make sure you join that link. We would love to have y'all come join the universe today. Good luck to everyone in their weeks. Hopefully all the answers we gave you are the right answers for you. If they are, let us know because we didn't know where we missed them, right? So let us know. Join us again next Sunday. But for Jeremy, for Jesse, for Mike, for Rich, for Spencer, for myself, we appreciate everyone joining in. And until next time, peace.
FFU.